Body-Culinary, and happy Sunday. So, I'm an early riser. Shout out to all my early risers. So I've been up studying, always educating myself, and striving to leverage my time on the internet. If you're not leveraging your time on the internet learning something new, then what are we doing here, right? So I've been up early, cleaning, burning incense, and before I get into laundry and classes all day, I was like, I need to get some movement because it is really easy to get into. I have to do this, I have to work, I have to send out these emails and miss movement. And movement, I strive to make the best part of my day. It really makes a big difference in my whole mood. It sets the tone for my day. Even those days, especially those days when I don't feel like it, if I get some vigorous, joyous, sweaty movement, I feel a sense of accomplishment. I feel a sense of really almost intense, a restoration of my integrity, right? And for me, what that looks like is keeping my word to myself, investing some tangible time in myself. And that is a mindset. That is a mindset. So many people are usually trying to struggle for years to lose weight. And I'll give you a little tip from somebody that's been in the fitness industry as a coach, a personal trainer, a fitness competitor, somebody that does yoga and nutrition consulting. Most people don't maintain or sustain because the mindset is not there. Even with all of our new outfits, our new equipment, our sneakers, our heart rate monitors, what is elusive and one of the things that I've observed that fizzles out is that momentary enthusiasm and a big enough why. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm looking for longevity and how I feel my mental emotional state. That's usually what's going to get me into exercise. Now, another little tip, if you're waiting for motivation, why? Because a lot of times the motivation doesn't come until after you do the thing. Then I find that you have even more motivation, and it's a leverage motivation that spans out. Just knowing that you put in time, especially if you do it for about 15, 20 minutes, long enough to get your body nice and heated. It's not just the physicality, it's a mindset because you are definitely giving yourself, you're demonstrating your capacity to push through discomfort. So we're going to chit chat this morning if folks are up early, and let's do a little bit movement and chit chat. I like to come together around activity. So I already put my heart rate monitor on, and I can't see because my computer is in this shop. So I can't see on my iPad what my heart rate monitor is. So if you need recommendations on a heart rate monitor, we do talk about that in Sunday coaching, which is later today, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll give you my recommendations and make the distinctions between a heart rate monitor and a fitness tracker. So the one I have, I can start it. Say I forgot my iPad or my phone. I can still have this record my movement session and go back later when I sync it, and that will be listed on my month at a glance calendar as well as on my daily. I'll get some daily feedback on exactly what I did, right? So if you haven't been moving for a while, if you don't have a jump rope in a small space, you can be innovative and creative, and you can simply use 2 kitchen towels. So like my mom, or if you're a little bit, more mature and seasoned, or if you just haven't been moving in a really long time, you can use your kitchen towel and you can lift your knees to your chest. So instead of here, literally try to put your knees on your chest. That's going to give you a nice stretch in your lower back, right? It'll help to encourage you to draw your belly button into the spine, and you just get moving, and you also got some company to do it with too. So we're going to chit chat. Let's chit chat with a purpose. So let's get started because my heart rate monitor is already on. Let me get a little bit of a timer so I can see and get some kind of like numbers, because a lot of times we talk about thinking and feeling, and I hear astrology and all of that, but I think it's also really important to be grounded and to be able to measure what it is that you're doing so you can have some objective feedback. All right, so I got my 20 ounces of water, warm water with my ginger elixir. I'm going to start off with a basic jump. So a basic jump, you're very light on your feet with your feet together. It's very, very light. I'm never slamming my feet down into the floor. That's actually going to affect your back and your knees. This is not even really high impact, right? Like taking off or sprinting. This is actually can be low to moderate impact. So I'm on the balls of my feet and I'm striving to pull my belly button into the spine. And by the way, natural bodies matter. So I'm going to try not to make an effort not to hit any of my plants because it is a wonderful skill set I found to be able to master a small space. So wherever it is that you have, you can fit an exercise mat, you can actually really transform your body in a really small space. So that's 5 minutes in and I'm still chit-chatting. So tuck your pelvis under. This is pinching my lower back because I'm shortening my lower back. I want to tuck my pelvis under, right? This bowl, I'm going to use this as a marker for my pelvis. I'm going to tuck it under, belly button pulled in. If you have any questions, nutrition fitness questions, put them inside of the chat and let's go. So feet together, nice basic jump, either 100 jumps or a minute, whichever one comes first. So now if you flub up in the rope like I just did, don't pay no never mind. This is a perfect example of begin again. Remember your count and keep going. Keep going. Okay, that's 100. Lift your knees to the chest. So you likely feel your calves getting nice and warm, starting to get the heart rate up. We're going to go for another set of basic jumps. Again, tuck your pelvis under, belly button pulled in to the spine. Breathe nice and deep. Second set of 100. So I really feel my calf getting nice and warm. Also, I'm barefoot, right? No toenail polish, no rocking my natural toes. So, and actually, side note, I like to see, there are some non-toxic nail polishes. I think that's the one thing that I will use from time to time. But it's good to see the natural color in your nails so you can see if you have any vitamin deficiencies, where that little white line is, and especially if you have any discolorations, any kind of what looks like mold, which could be you stubbed your toe, but you can see different things that are going on with you by the quality of your nails. Movement number 2, you can stay with basic. You can keep using the 2 kitchen towels, or you can pull your belly button in nice and tight, and I'm gonna twist from side to side, right? So that we can work our trunk or our waistline. Let's see if we might have a little bit of a better view here. So you can work our trunk and the waistline. So you're going to pull your belly button in nice and tight. All right, pull it into your spine. Look at all this rush you have in between. My heart rate is down. So twist side to side. the knees to the chest. That's 3. Touch your heels to your glutes. Pump some blood into your hamstrings. Let's take a quick little mental health break. So again, constantly tucking the belly button in. Push your hips over to the side. Push them forward. Squeeze your glutes. So you're protecting your back from hyperextending too far back. Push your hips to the other side. Then put your hips and glutes on the wall behind you. Here, front. Big circles. So having some mobility in our hips, opposite direction, is super important. So a balanced movement practice, lift the knees to the chest, is going to include cardio, flexibility and mobility, and strength. You may need to work out and balance out your program throughout the week. You can stay with basic jump, or you can do a gentle out in. Here we go. Should really feel your calves. Lift the knees to the chest. Let's open up the hips. Always like to do a lot of hip openers. Did I mention natural bodies matter? So I'm going to take a sip of water. Don't gulp it. Take a sip if you need to. Now, that lemon is good. So if you're more deconditioned, you may need to stop more often in the beginning just for your heart rate to recover. Though, if you're consistent, one of our benchmarks is your recovery heart rate, right, which is an indicator, one of the indicators of cardiovascular health, your cardiac, your heart muscle, will start over time to come down quicker. Let's open up the hips. Big circles. So if a tall person was standing in front of your head, let your arms flow. Your goal is to circle your leg over their head. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, internal. Kick it right over the head. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you need to shorten your lever, you can bend the knee to make it easier. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Good. And 15. We're going to lift the leg right out to the side for a side kick, working the obliques. 1. Try not to jerk the foot. Little control. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're going to 10 little jacks. So you can step. If you need to modify it, right out to the side, step, or gentle jack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Side kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Jack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Jack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's open up the other hip. 1, kick right over the person's head. 2, 3, 4, use your breath. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, good, and 1. Internal rotation. 1, 2, kick over the person's head. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Jack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Notice my arms are shoulder height. They're not here, they're not here, and I'm active through my fingertips, right? 10 kicks out to the side. If you were standing next to you, right, re-engage your belly button, you should be able to hear your inhale and your exhale. That'll help bring you present to your body. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3. You can step if you need to. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So, some vigorous movement. Still feels a little, not too challenging. So I invite you, you can let me know in the chat on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being the most challenging, 1 being the easiest. How do you feel how hard you're exerting yourself, right? Your rate of perceived effort or exertion, what would you give yourself? Not good or bad, but just to start to bring you present into your body. So this is a challenge. Again, you can stay with the 2 towels, right? You can stay with that the whole movement practice, or you can add the jump rope. You can stay with basic jumps forward. I'm going to add another degree of challenge because it's also about training your brain. Pull your belly button back in. By the way, you like my little design? We're going to go backwards. So again, still on the balls of the feet, still light and easy. But interesting how when you go in different directions, it is much more challenging. So also we're training the brain. So backwards. Sister. Much more challenging. So forward. So again, you can stay with basic jump. You can take the 2 kitchen towels. You can do your little knee to the chest. Or our next movement pattern is gently, belly button pulled into the spine. Knees forward, not back, but knees are forward. So you have to use your hip flexors more, the muscles that bend or flex the hip, in addition to your core, right? Take your time, or just take basic jump. Keep going. Woo! Much more challenging. Lift the knees to the chest. So that got my heart rate up. Take a sip of water. Oh my gosh. Woo! So I can't see what I go on in the chat. Take a sip, don't gulp too fast. Nothing like warm water with some lemon. So again, you can stay with your basic jump. Again, actively tucking your pelvis under. Now, side note, I don't tell grown folks what to do, especially not in this day and age, especially if you ain't paying me. But I would recommend folks out there, right? And I've worked with numerous people. I come from a pattern of morbid obesity in my family, have thyroid, gain weight very easily, and I love to eat, and I'm also a chef. So what I would say to folks, as someone who has held space and coached people through 40 pounds, 100 pounds plus of weight, what people call weight loss, I would say weight release. I invite you to not obsess so much over loose skin and surgeries. I personally, this is just me as a coach, I recommend, and my heart rate's going down, if you transform your body, I recommend you sit with your loose skin maybe a year and a half, maybe even 2, until you are stable in your lifestyle and you have maintained and sustained. As someone who's also had malpractice lawyers as clients, the people I don't observe are really looking long term and have not successfully changed their mindset. So you could also, some things you may not see is the way that you're compromising the way that you're absorbing nutrients. Folks don't consider that if you haven't changed your mindset, even with the different stomach surgeries, you can gain the weight back. Though now you've compromised your ability to, because the stomach is your first brain. It's a big part of our immune system. So you've compromised your ability to absorb nutrients, right? We're trying to do something mechanical without changing the mindset. So how can you demonstrate that you've changed your mindset? Well, if you've sustained your lifestyle, your new lifestyle, for a year or 2 and taking your body to the max that you can take it before you touch knives. When the adipose, the technical term for fatty tissue, comes back, right? It comes back in weird ways, and so people don't anticipate that your body can look kind of, I don't want to say weird, that sounds judgmental, but it will come back in ways that you hadn't imagined, right? Because we're manipulating the body mechanically. Fitness is the way to go, and eating real food. I see lots of women and girls altering, having these surgeries, but still are eating lots of processed food. Processed food gives you a certain kind of look, and it doesn't nourish your body so they're strong enough to deal with cancer, to deal with autoimmune diseases. Those are things that are not being taken into consideration, right? We're not thinking of the whole picture, so It has an end point if you don't think whole. Okay, so let's take a little bit more jump rope. You can stay with the basic jumps. Or you can take rockets, which I love, reminds me of being a little girl. Take the heart rate back up. Scale of 1 to 10, I'll say that's 8.5 going towards a 9. Lift your knees to your chest. Shall we take a little core? Shall we take a little core? I think so. Let's do a little core. And core is not just your 6-pack or 8-pack. There's nothing wrong with a healthy sense of vanity. The only coming from a perspective of vanity is limited. That's not going to sustain you. Ask me how I know. I haven't been in this industry for numerous decades. So, tuck your pelvis under, right? Still that bowl of your pelvis. If I was standing, you can see my lower back is shortened. I'm going to splay or spread my fingertips, really press my hands into the floor, lining up my wrist, elbow, and shoulder. I'm pressing my hands into the floor, so this is not straight. I want to straighten out my elbow. Now to activate my scapula, my shoulder blades, I'm going to press my body away from the floor. So this is not cat-cow, but I'm activating my scapula, my shoulder blades. Now my head should not be here and it should not be here because then I'm shortening my spine, right? So we're going on some corrective stuff, some corrective exercise, because with improper form or improper alignment, we're likely to jack ourselves up, right? And compromise our neck and our shoulders. We don't want to do that. So tuck the pelvis under, draw that belly button, lower belly button into the spine. So you can either take a modified position, right? Modified would be staying on all fours. You're going to step the right foot outside the right hand. Move back so you can see. So my right foot now, if you're a little stiff and you're right here, that's fine. Respect your body's range of motion. But I'm going to step here, come back down, and then step the left foot. So I feel a big stretch in here. And back down. Did I mention that natural bodies matter? Now, I'm someone that has sustained life with my precious mammary glands, right? I sustained life exclusively in my mammary glands. So, your breasts for women and those that have mammary glands and a womb. I'm a natural born woman. Shout out to you, whatever your expression is. Our bodies are going to change. Even when you have all these surgeries, things that people don't anticipate, things drop. Right? So it's to your best benefit to eat real food and have a movement practice and some form of stress release, aka garden therapy. But it's going to change, right? So I know for me, I want to embrace it naturally. That's my intention. So that I don't want to look plasticky. I want to embrace the process and enjoy my time in my human suit. All right, so tuck your pelvis under, belly button drawn in. Right foot steps outside, the right hand, back down. Try to keep your pelvis tucked under. Step it outside, gonna feel a stretch. Step it big. And here, so I'm gonna add on a little bit more. So my left foot is outside the left hand. See if you can drop your elbow down to the floor. Oh my gosh, I feel a tremendous stretch. That adds a whole nother level of stretch. Tap it down, come right back. And right foot outside the right hand, touch the elbow down, feel that deep stretch. Good, if you've been with me, moving longer, and I see you every day at 5 a.m., step that right foot outside
outside the right hand. My back leg is pushing straight. I want to feel that stretch in my hip joint. Come back center. Left foot steps outside the left hand. Let me see if we can rotate this a little bit. My little iPad. Can we rotate this? Because my computer daughter is in the shop. I don't know if it'll let me rotate. I don't think so. I don't know. Looks like it's upside down. Let's see. Will it let me? No, I don't think so. So we have to stay right here. Or stay right here. I hope I'm not making y'all dizzy. So, again, take your modification of full. Tuck your hips under. Right foot steps outside the right hand. This back heel, my knee should not be touching the floor. I'm pushing that back heel straight so I feel more stretch here in the hip joint without letting your hips and glutes go in the air. Step center and left foot. This is where I want to feel the stretch. So if I squeeze my glute, I'm going to feel more stretch here. And take a tempo. 3 more. 3. 3. Now this time, step it out. Touch the right elbow down to the floor. Feel a deeper stretch. And center. And left elbow touches down. And center. Step it out. Right foot touches down. And center. And left elbow touches down. And center one more time. And tap. Center. Good. And tap. Good. So give yourself a little bit of a tail wag. Let's take a quick set of alternate arm leg reaches. So left elbow to right knee and then extend. Again, tuck your pelvis in, under, draw the belly button in, elbow to knee and extend. 1, 2, 3. Breathe. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Leg goes all the way straight. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold it. Good. Give yourself a little tail wag. Release your back. Good. Again, spread your fingertips, press your hands into the floor, press the body away from the floor, tuck the pelvis under, belly button drawn into the spine, opposite side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 5, 4, 3, 2, good, and 1. Give yourself a little bit of a tail wag. Let's take a little bit, I'm a little sweaty there. Let's take a little bit of a sun salutation. So I don't know if you all are familiar with sun salutation. So first step up, grab your opposite stomach, try to pull your stomach muscles away from your thighs. Grab your opposite elbows. Let your body weight hang down, and you feel a big stretch in the back of your hamstrings. You can sway a little bit side to side. Open your feet wider than the hips. Press your hands into the floor. Drop your hips and glutes down. Press your hands into the floor and straighten. Good. And drop. Good. And straighten. Good. And drop. Good. Straighten the legs out. And drop. Good. Press the hands into prayer position. Good. And try to straighten out your elbow. So I'm going to straighten out the elbow. I feel a big stretch along the side of the body. Your hips may be a little tight. That's okay. Press the hands together. Press the knees open so you feel that stretch in the groin area. And then extend. Feel a nice stretch. Hands back to prayer position one more time. And extend. Good. Hands together. Good. And extend. Oh, gosh. It feels good to be able to move. Take a little sun salutation. You can hear the little birds. So on the inhaling, as we move upwards, as we move upwards, that's when we're going to inhale. Greetings, Carolyn. And we move downwards. We're going to exhale. So again, We don't want the pelvis here. We're going to tuck the pelvis under. Oh, I'm sweating. So, I'm in mountain pose or Tadasana and Samasthiti or this mountain pose. So I'm actively tucking my hips under. Belly button's pulled in. I'm going to extend, reach my arms up so my hands touch in prayer position. I'm looking at my thumbs. And I'm going to exhale, lean forward at the hips. Belly button is drawn in. Now, if you're not able to straighten your legs, you can bend them slightly. Just make sure you're striving to pull your belly button away from your thigh. So if you can, really try to relax. So here my neck is not relaxed. Drop your head and neck down. If you feel tightness, breathe into your body. Breathe into the stretch. Try not to close your eyes here. Good. Place your hands flat. And we're going to step back. You're going to step. Now, if you need to drop down to your knees, you can drop down to your knees. Elbows are close to the side. And then come down. So you got to make sure that your hands are flat. And you're really pressing into your pinky, index finger, and thumb. If you've been moving with me for longer, then you're going to tuck your hips up, not in downward dog, and then drop down to the floor. Good. I'm going to scoop. Inhale up into cobra. Inhale. I'm going to curl my toes under and press my heels down to the floor. Now, if your heels don't touch, you can walk your heels in a little bit. Again, if you need to bend your knees a little bit, then do that. But you're striving to push your heels down into the floor so you feel a tremendous stretch in your calves and also in the back of the legs. I'm actively pressing my hands into the floor. And my gaze point, my drishti, is going to be at my belly button. Keep pulling your lower abdominals in and supporting your back on the other side. Bend your knees and step. Your feet in between the hands are respecting your range of motion. Whatever you're able to do. Pull your belly button away from your thighs. Pull it in. Inhale, reach your arms up into prayer position. Good, and exhale the arms down. Again, inhale, reach it up. Exhale, fall forward at the hips. Drop your head and neck down. Inhale, look up with a flat back. Exhale, drop the head down, place the hands, and you're going to step. Bend your knees if you need to. And drop down. Inhale, scoop into cobra. Looking up. Curl your toes under. Exhale. Press your hands into the floor. Push your heels flat. You can walk your heels out a little bit. Pull your belly button into your spine. Press your hands into the floor. Press the body away from the floor. Listen to your inhale and your exhale. We're breathing in and out through the nose. Good. Bend your knees. You can step. Inhale, look up. Exhale, drop the head and neck down. Inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, down. Again, inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fall forward. Place the hands. Inhale, look up. Exhale, drop the head and neck down. You can step. You can drop to your knees if you need to. Good. Inhale, scoop up into cobra. Squeeze your glutes so you're protecting your back. Press your hands into the floor. Your shoulders are retracted. Curl the toes under. And press your heels down into downward dog. Press your heels into the floor. Press your hands into the floor. Press the body away from the floor. Feel a tremendous stretch in the back of the legs. Pull and draw your belly button into the spine so you're supporting the back on the other side. Bend your knees. Step. Good. Inhale. And exhale. Drop the head and neck down. Pull your belly button away from your thighs. Inhale. Reach it up. Good. And exhale. Twice more. Inhale up. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, look up. Exhale, step. And drop down. Inhale up. Exhale, curl the toes under. Press into downward dog. Listen to your breath. Your inhale and exhale deeply through the nose. Belly button is drawn in. Bend your knees, step. Inhale, look up. Exhale, drop the head and neck down. Inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, back into mountain pose one more time. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fall forward at the hips. Drop the head and neck down. Place the hands Inhale, look up, flat back. Exhale, step, step. And drop it down. Drop to your knees if you need to. Inhale, scoop up into cobra. And exhale, come to downward dog. Belly button is drawn into the spine. Press your heels down into the floor as best you're able. Spread the fingertips. Press the hands into the floor. Press the body away from the floor. Belly button's drawn in. Listen to your breath. Bend knees. Step, step. Inhale, look up with the flat back. Exhale, drop the head and neck down. Inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, and then come down to the floor. A little bit of hip mobility. So it's a quick little movement practice, right? With a lot, I'm not doing a whole lot of resistance training today. It's more of a recovery day. So you're gonna open your knees, maybe a little bit wider than the hips. Try to keep your chest forward. Drop your knees down to one side. So working on opening up the hips. Come back center and then drop them as best you're able to the other side. So this is really great for our hips. And drop it. So this is a lot different. I like to focus on functional training because you can't see the tightness in your joints when you're sitting inside of machines. So you're dropping the knees from side to side. We want our hips to be nice and mobile, not stuck inside the joint capsule. Drop it to the side. And drop it to the side. So stay in this little mermaid position. Now, take your time. Your stretches should be to the point of slight discomfort. You don't want to force it. The whole time, ideally, you're listening to your breath. You're going to come down onto one elbow. Now, as soon as I come onto the one elbow, I can already feel a stretch here, right, in the front of my thigh. This is excellent for your knees, right? So I feel a tremendous stretch here. Now, if I squeeze this glute or push this hip forward, I feel even a more tremendous stretch, right? Breathe into your stretch if you're able to. You can come down into both elbows. Whew, that's a big stretch there. Breathe into your stretch. Good. Come up nice and easy. Over to the other side, so mermaid. Right? So if I just come decline down to one elbow, ooh, I feel a big stretch here in front of the thigh. So a lot of times we're feeling issues at the knees. It's usually if we've had some kind of injury at the patella, at the kneecap. But also what we can do is look at what kind of movement patterns we've been doing that are affecting the muscles above and below the knee, right? And also where there's weakness, maybe in these muscles, and also tightness. So you're going to open up the hip and stretch these muscles in the front. If you're able to, come down, but don't force it onto the other elbow. Keep trying to squeeze the glute so you open up the hip here. Good. And then come up. Good. So we're going to extend one leg. This is not active. This is active. I'm going to extend one leg. So you may be mirroring me. My left leg is extended. My right leg I'm bending. Now, if you feel pain in your knees, then you need to release it down a little bit. We never want to force it. We're stretching to the point of slight discomfort. So bring your foot and sandwich it in and see if you can square off your headlights on your hips. Stomach muscles are pulled in. Inhale and then exhale. Walk your hands forward. Reach for either your calves, your ankles, or around the foot. Inhale. Good. And exhale. So you don't want to be rounded here. You want to reach the chest forward and looking straight ahead at the big toe. Feel a nice stretch. So I feel stretch all here around the hip and also in the back of the extended leg. And breathe into the stretch. So I know it's easy. It's tempting to want to close your eyes here. So you want to have a gaze. Don't go off into sleep here. You want to save it for Shavasana. Good, and release. So now my heart rate's all the way down. Switch sides. So my right leg is extended. You may be mirroring me. So I'm strive to square off my hips. Belly button is drawn in before I lean forward. Inhale, exhale, walk your hands forward. Reach for either your calf, your ankle, or around the foot. Now, it's a good idea to pay attention to whether or not one side is tighter than the other. Reach and extend your chest forward. And looking at that big toe. And breathe into your stretch. This is great. I love this stretch for my lower back. right around my hip and my lower back. Good. Open up into a nice tripod position. Stomach muscles join in. Inhale and then exhale. Walk the hands forward to whatever your range of motion is. And extend, reach your chest forward in the direction of the floor. I like to wiggle my feet so it helps me work my way into the stretch. And don't round your back. You want to extend, reach your chest forward. That's going to help you feel a deeper stretch. Good. Walk yourself to your right side. So I'm going to lean over to my right side, which may be your left. This bottom arm, I can use it to help me press my leg open. Give me a little resistance. And I'm going to strive to straighten out my elbow. And I'm feeling a deep stretch. I'm reaching my left fingertips to my right toes. I'm pulling up and out of the hip. I feel a deep stretch on the side of my body. Circle the arm around and reach it over again. Ooh. We can get very crunched down here in the hips from sitting so much. Let the body float up. Belly button's drawn in. And over to the opposite side. So I'm going to use this arm to help me roll and press this leg open. So I'm reaching my right fingertips. I'm going to strive to straighten out the elbow. Palm is facing down. And I'm pulling up and out of my hip. Ooh, I feel a deep stretch there. Breathe into your stretch. Circle the arm around. Reach it over again. Palm down. Reach the right fingertips for the left toes. Good. And float up. And then let's take Shavasana. Shavasana is rest pose. Some people call it corpse pose. Nothing more but there. So make sure you shouldn't be able to slide your hand underneath the back. Tuck your pelvis under. Constantly tucking the pelvis under. From there, extend your legs forward. Let the feet spill open to the sides. Allow your hands to spill open to the sides. And now you can close your eyes. And rest. And I like to seal the practice. By sealing the practice, what I mean in the most practical sense is just taking in the energy of your movement, your circulation, restoring your integrity with taking care of yourself with movement and breath. So you're being intentional about holding on to that energy. Take a nice big deep inhale through the nose. Fill the lungs with air. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Just observe the rate of your breathing. Good. Gently roll yourself over to your left side. And bring your knees up towards your chest. Place your hands together in between your knees and take rest. See if you can bring to your mind's eye something that you are grateful for. See if you can bring to your mind's eye something that brings joy and laughter to your face. Good. Place your right hand on the floor. Brush yourself up into a seated position. Now, doesn't that feel most excellent? House is clean. I still have laundry. I have more laundry to do. I have classes lined up for the day. Group coaching is at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you are interested and you are like, I want to be dedicated this year to really transforming my body, and you want to do it from the convenience of your home, all you need is space for a mat, right? So you can clear some clutter and dedicate a space to your personal movement practice, right? There's a lot of education to be had to learn corrective exercises for maybe your glutes or ways you can strengthen the muscles that support the knees, your lower back, Also your shoulders, right? If you're a beginner, that's fine. If you have heart rate monitors and fitness trackers that you're not using, and you've bought Peloton bikes, and you might have some weights that have laundry, on it. Time to whip all of that stuff out and get into, um, get into business. This is the season for garden therapy, your personal movement practice, and peaceful consumption. What that looks like in this little corner of the universe is food that loves you back, right? So your label you want to call yourself is your BI business. Labels don't mean necessarily results. So one of the things that we really focus on is functional movement, maximizing what you can do to transform your body and your space, but also setting some benchmarks and some goals. Your body should not be looking the same every 3 months or performing the same. If you are making changes, so you can apply some benchmarks to measure your effectiveness. How do you know that what you're doing is effective at transforming and shifting your body composition, aka your percentage of unhealthy excess adipose tissue, the technical term for fatty tissue? That's the only, when people talk about weight, let me just say something quick before I jump off here. Most people are not making the distinction between the one number doesn't tell the whole picture of water weight, and water retention from salt, toxins, edema, muscle weight, bone, and tissue. So I've been well over one. I'm only 5'2", and I've been upwards of 140 and look totally like this big. All natural with, and that's because of the amount of lean muscle. So that's especially important, especially for women. We have a lot of myths around fitness, and a lot of times we're high-fiving off of just random bits of information, but they're not in a whole context. So if we don't have results, it doesn't make us bad or wrong. It usually means that we have a blind spot, something we're not, that we may be under or overestimating how much work we're doing. If we have good, efficient form, not just good, right? Efficient, effective form. So if we've got all these fancy clothes and heart rate monitors, but we don't have results, that likely means something is missing. So I know when I'm working with coaches, I'm looking for specific, tangible results. Feeling good is key. That's important, but I'm also looking for results, right? I'm not interested in taking medications. Your doctor, by the way, will take you off of medications, but there's so much you can do with just real, whole, fresh, and living unprocessed foods, movement, and implementing ASAP, whatever space you're in, garden therapy. And we talk more about, there's so many benefits. These are therapeutic lifestyle practices that we have access to. So I'm inviting you all to create a great day on purpose, just because you said so. If you haven't already, download your copy of Whole Living Foods in the Hood. Get the guide. That's the guide. I've answered a lot of questions on how I've maintained a lifestyle for over 10 years of whole living, unprocessed foods. So that's foods that are cooked by the sun. And there's so many things people don't realize you can have fresh and living. I'm also someone that is very sensitive to the cold. So I know it's the colder time of the year in many regions. And there are ways that you can maintain this lifestyle, which actually I find very cost effective, even if you're in a cold environment. So if you need coaching for individual questions, reach out to me, info@body-culinary.com. If you look in the About section, you'll see info for Flower Fit. Flower Fit that is coming together. That particular community is open right now to women. Right, I prioritize a safe space, so I'm non-negotiable. I'll fill out the application. I must be able to identify the name, the person, the avatar. If I cannot identify, you will sit there, or I will not open access to the room. So that is sharing. That's getting into action around what you say your core values are. And these particular core values are garden therapy, a personal movement practice which will sustain you until your hair is white, and peaceful consumption, food that demonstrates that it loves you back. Y'all create a great day. Like, comment respectfully, and subscribe. All that jazz. Follow me on other social media at Body Culinary. See you soon.